Hi children, how are you? I hope you are all fine and safe. My dear students, in this academic year 2023, our Government of India introduced a new topic in 7th class. Today, we will discussing the topic, important topic in 7th class. Our Government of Andhra Pradesh introduced this topic. Before discussing this topic, my dear students, already we have learned in your previous class, 6th class, habitat. What is meant by habitat? We know that habitat is a living place of an organism. The living place of an organism is called habitat, or dwelling place of an organism. Dwelling place of an organism is called as habitat. Okay, my dear children, for example, our house as a habitat. You can live in our day-to-day life. Every human being live in our houses. Home as a habitat for human being. We know that birds can live on branches of a tree. Different types of birds can live on branches of a tree. So, tree as a habitat for birds. And fishes, crabs, snails, all these are live in water. Different types of water resources like pond, river, seas, etc. In these resources, some of the animals can live like fishes, crabs and snail. So, in these animals, water is a habitat. Rivers, ponds and seas are the habitats for some of the animals like fishes, crabs, etc. In the same manner, different types of plants and animals can live in a particular places, can live or exist in a particular place. So, my dear students, today our topic, forests. Forests, our lifeline. Forests, our lifeline. What is meant by forest? What is meant by forest? Forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals. Forest is a natural habitat. Already I said habitat. Habitat means living place of an organism or dwelling place of an organism. So, forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals. Forests provide food, shelter and shelter for animals. Forests provide food and shelter for animals. Commonly, some of the animals are found in a forest? They are lion, tiger, elephant, monkey, deer, zebra, bison, boar, snake, porcupine, and crocodile. These type of animals are found in a forest. So forest is one of the habitat for different kinds of animals. Different kinds of animals. Okay, my dear students. Next, some common type of plants also found in a forest. Some common types of plants are found in a forest. They are teak, bamboo, fig, sal, sesame, semel, neem, palash, kair, amla, kachnar, etc. Some common type of plants found in a forest are like teak, bamboo, fig, sal, sesame, semel, neem, palash, kair, amla, kachnar, etc. Forests also have several kinds of shrubs, herbs, and grasses. Shrubs, herbs, and grasses. Climbers and creepers are also in a forest. Climbers and creepers. Climbers and creepers. What type of products we get from forests? We know that, my dear students, in a forest area, different types of plants and animals are found. In these type of plants can give different types of products. We get different types of products from forests. We get several useful products from forests like wood, spices, gum, oils, honey, sealing wax, cashew. Cashew means this is one of the tannins. Tannins is a plant product, secondary metabolic product. Tannins are the carbon compounds. These are useful for tanning the leather. Tanning the leather. Cashew means it is a tannins. Tannins are the carbon compounds. This is a plant product. This is useful for tanning of leather. Cashew comes from cassia and acacia type of plants. And forest give fodder for animals. Fodder means food for animals. Fodder means food for animals. And forest also give medicines. My dear students, different types of diseases cured by medicines. Ayurvedic medicines. Ayurvedic medicines comes from the plants. Vrukshayurveda. Vrukshayurveda means plant medicines, medicinal plants. So all these type of products get from produced from the forest. All these type of products comes from the forest. Okay, my dear childrens. Next, very important in this topic, what is a crown? What is a crown. In examination point of view, 1 mark or 2 mark question, what is a crown? Listen, the upper part or top of a tree branching is called its crown. The upper part or top of a tree branching is called its crown. What is canopy? This is also important definition in this chapter. What is canopy? Canopy means in the forest, different trees grow tall together and their branches appear as the roof of the forest, as no sky is visible through these trees. This is called canopy. Canopy means in the forest, different trees grow tall together and their branches appear as the roof of the forest, as no sky is visible through these trees. This is called canopy. Okay, my dear students. In a canopy, or crown. Crown means a stem is in a plant above the stem. In a plant or tree, above the stem is known as crown of the tree. Some grow up into trees. That branchy part of a tree above the stem is known as the crown. In a crown of different types and sizes. Crown, different types and sizes can be formed in a forest area. These crown had created different horizontal layers in the forest. These crown had created different horizontal layers in the forest. These are known as understories. Very, very important keyword, my dear students, in this chapter. Understories. What is meant by understories? The crowns created different horizontal layers in the forest. These are known as understories. Some understories, giant and tall trees, constituted the top layer, followed by shrubs and tall grasses, and herbs formed the lowest layer. Giant and tall trees constituted the top layer, followed by shrubs and tall grasses, and herbs formed the lowest layer. Okay, my dear students, see the picture. In a forest area, different types of trees can live. Once see the picture. Forest floor, understory layer, canopy layer, emergent layer. Forest floor, understory layer, canopy layer, and emergent layer. Okay. Next. Interdependence of components of forest. Very, very important topic. Interdependence of components of a forest. Forest has different types of plants and animals. Forests have different types of plants and animals. They are, we know that, Plants are autotrophs. Plants are autotrophs. What is meant by autotrophs? The organisms which can prepare their own food. The organisms which can prepare their own food is called as autotrophs. We know that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. My dear students, all plants can prepare their own food? No. Only green plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs means the organisms which can prepare their own food. My dear students, heterotrophs. What is meant by heterotrophs? The organisms which cannot prepare their own food material. The organisms which cannot prepare their own food material. They depend upon two others for their food. Example, animals. Animals cannot prepare their own food. They depend upon two others for their food. We know that, my dear students, other organisms like saprophytes and decomposers. Saprophytes. Saprophytes are the animals which feed on dead animals. Saprophytes are the animals which feed on dead animals. Decomposers. Decomposers are the microorganisms which decompose dead plants and animals into humus. For example, bacteria. Decomposers are soil friendly organisms. Decomposers are soil friendly microorganisms. Decomposers are the organisms which decompose dead plants and animals into humus. What is meant by humus? Humus is a topmost layer of the earth crust. The topmost layer of the soil. The topmost layer of the soil is called humus. Humus is very useful in crops. Humus means the topmost layer of the soil. It contains nutrients, soil nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium and other minerals also present in the soil. All these nutrients are essential for growth of the plant body or crop yield. Okay, my dear students, food chain, interdependence of components in a forest. Food chain. What is meant by food chain? The energy is transferred from one organism to another organism. The energy is transferred from one organism to another organisms. We can observe plants are autotrophs. They can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So plants are called as producers, primary producers. Animals are heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food material. Already we have learned in your previous class, 6th class, different types of animals. Animals are categorized into 3 types. One is herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. What is meant by herbivores? The animals which eat plant bodies or graze the grass. The animals which eat or feed plants, plant parts and graze the grass. That animals are called as herbivores. Example of herbivores: cow, ox, buffalo, sheep, goat, etc. Carnivores. What is meant by carnivores? The animals which eat flesh of other animals. Flesh means meat. The animals which eat flesh of other animals is called as carnivores. Omnivores. Carnivores examples like tiger, lion, fox, etc. Omnivores. The third category, omnivores. Omnivores means the animals which eat both like plant and animal bodies. The animals which eat both like plant and animal products. So these are the different types of animals. Animals are heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food material. So animals are consumers. Consumers. Primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. But plants are producers, primary producers. Interdependence of plants and animals in a forest. The energy is transferred from one organism to another organism is called food chain. The energy is transferred from one trophic level to another trophic level. Like primary producers to primary consumers. Primary consumers to secondary consumers. Secondary consumers to tertiary consumers. And finally, decomposers. So this is the interdependence of plants and animals. Once we can observe one of the example, grass. Grass is a primary producer. Grass to insects. Insects, primary consumers. Insects to frog. Frog is a secondary consumer. Frog to snake. Snake is a tertiary consumers. And snake to eagle or snake to eagle. Eagle is a top carnivore. Top carnivore. This is the one of the example of food chain. Means eagle eat snake, snake eat frog, frog eat insects, insects eat grass. This is the one of the example of food chain. The energy is transferred from one organism to another organism. From primary producers to primary consumers to secondary consumers to tertiary consumers, and top carnivores. There are many food chains in the forest. All food chains are linked together. If, my dear students, keep it in your mind, if any food chain is disturbed, what happens? If any food chain is disturbed, what happens? It affects other food chain. They can disturb ecological balance in the nature. They disturb ecological balance in the nature. In examination point of view, one of the question, if any food chain is disturbed, what happens? They disturb ecological balance in the nature and effects of other food chains. So every component of forest depends on one another. If you remove one component like trees, all other components are affected. If we remove one component like trees, all other components are affected. So every component is essential for flowing of energy from one organism to another organism. Next, balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We know that all living organisms take in oxygen by the process of respiration. Oxygen is important gas for respiration. Inhale oxygen. Oxygen is essential or required during respiration process plants and animals. We know that plants and animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide by the process of respiration. Generally, some students thinking only animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide and released oxygen. Some students are thinking like that. No. All organisms like plants and animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide by the process of respiration. But plants take in carbon dioxide and released oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, my dear students, keep it in your mind. Very, very important. All living organisms like plants and animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide by the process of respiration. But plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. We know that photosynthesis is one of the important process for making of the food material in plants. Plants can prepare their own food material by the process of photosynthesis. So, plants can maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. So, plants helps to maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. That's why forests are called green lungs. That's why forests are called green lungs. Means plants give oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. Oxygen is essential in all living organisms by the process of respiration. So, forests are green lungs. Green lungs. We know that lungs are the respiratory organ in many animals, including human being. Human being respiration takes place through lungs. So, forests give oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. That's why forests are called green lungs. Okay, my dear students. Next, balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. See the picture. Plants create oxygen with photosynthesis process. By the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released. That oxygen is entered into the atmosphere. That oxygen is entered into the atmosphere. Other organisms like animals, human being, and plants can also take in oxygen from air, from the atmospheric air by the process of respiration, and released carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide can be entered into the atmospheric air. This carbon dioxide plants can use by the process of photosynthesis. Exchange of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide and oxygen. This is the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, my dear students, this session explained forest is a natural habitat. What is meant by habitat? Forest give different types of products like plant products and animal products. What is a crown? What is a understory? What is meant by food chain? What is meant by autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprophytes, decomposers, and interdependence of plants and animals. Interdependence of plants and animals. Okay. Balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. Everyone should learn this topic. Very important topic in 7th class. Our government of India, our government of Andhra Pradesh newly prescribed this chapter in 7th class general science textbook in this academic year 2023. Okay, my dear students, everyone follow our channel B.R.S. Biology. Subscribe our channel. Thank you one and all. Good morning, my dear students. How are